Well, gentlemen, you had my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we'll be counting down Quentin Tarantino's filmography, from his least awesome to his most awesome film.
What do they look like, Jimmy?
Dorks. They look like a couple of dorks.
To be clear, we'll only be including movies that are directed by him. As much as we love True Romance and From Dusk Till Dawn, those were only written by Tarantino. Number 10, Death Proof.
I don't care what they say, it's so easy. Yeah, it's coming on.
Quentin Tarantino's contribution to the grindhouse double feature Death Proof is a tribute to exploitation movies. Kurt Russell stars as a murderous stuntman who kills women with his death-proof car. However, he meets his match when a group of ladies decide to fight back.
You're not gonna want to do what we're doing.
What, to drive a car?
We're doing more than that.
What, drive it fast?
We're doing more than that.
Death Proof has plenty of Tarantino's usual entertaining dialogue, including one scene that's one long, impressive take. But it can meander a bit compared to most of the director's other works.
So I step back a little further, then a little more. So I do. Then I realize I'm right at the edge of a 7-foot concrete ditch.
Even so, the climactic car chase and battle is a spectacular set piece with some phenomenal practical stunts that has Death Proof finishing on a high note. Number 9, The Hateful Eight. This Western mystery movie sees a group of strangers caught in a blizzard shortly after the Civil War.
Okay, fella. You keep holding that lantern in that one hand. You keep that other hand where I can see it. Walk over there where I can get a good look at you.
Mistrust and suspicions abound, and things eventually turn predictably bloody. Tarantino's take on a whodunit unravels at a methodical pace that can turn some viewers off. It was originally intended to be a novel after all, and while some members of the ensemble shine, others can sadly blend into the background.
Or we go by my theory, which is the ugliest guy did it, which makes it you, Joe Gage.
Don't get us wrong, it's an amazing movie with excellent tension throughout, plenty of humor, some great performances, and an epic score by Ennio Morricone. The Hateful Eight is simply less approachable than other films by Tarantino.
And you're looking for someone to hold your hand.
Number 8, Jackie Brown.
Now, sooner or later, they're gonna get around to offering me a plea deal, and you know that. That's why you came here to kill me.
I ain't come over here to kill you.
Hey, it's okay. Now, I forgive you.
A pseudo-adaptation of the Elmore Leonard novel Rum Punch, Jackie Brown follows the titular stewardess who is involved in smuggling money across the border. Her attempts to navigate her associates and avoid the FBI are complicated by her burgeoning romance with bail bondsman Max Cherry.
If you had the chance, unemployed now, to walk away with $500,000, would you take it?
Jackie Brown is one of Tarantino's most tightly plotted films, partly thanks to the source material. However, it also retains a signature flair and pays tribute to blaxploitation movies. The romance between Jackie and Max Cherry is among the sweetest and most endearing in Tarantino's roster. All that being said, Jackie Brown lacks some of the bombast of most Tarantino movies and is far more subtle. But maybe that's your bag.
Woman trying to catch a trick on the street. You baby, across 110th Street. You can find it all in the street.
Number 7, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I'm the son of a loving man. My daddy told me get you all the loving you can.
Tarantino's love letter to 1960s Tinseltown, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, depicts the intertwining stories of the events leading up to the Manson murders. Caught up in the middle of everything are once successful fictional actor Rick Dalton and his stunt double Cliff Booth.
No, I don't need to trip out on no acid. My booze don't need nobody. Whoop, whoop. Here I come.
While Once Upon a Time is a slow burn, its finale is positively explosive and is one of the funniest and most violent climaxes in any Tarantino film. The road there isn't without its highlights either, with Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio delivering pitch-perfect performances. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood mixes truth with fairy tale to create a fantastic movie.
You're a good friend, Cliff.
I tried.
Number 6, Kill Bill Volume 2. The second half of Tarantino's two-part revenge epic Kill Bill Volume 2 sees Beatrix Kiddo, aka the Bride, finally get her vengeance on the titular Bill and everyone else who betrayed her.
The only one left. And when I arrive at my destination, I am gonna kill Bill.
Volume 2 is a bit more restrained than its predecessor, although some may find its slower pace less satisfying. We think it's actually a strength, since it focuses more on the characters' motivations and well-acted conversations.
Freeze, Mommy!
Bang, bang! Oh! Oh! She got us, baby! Mom got us! Oh, I'm dying!
I'm dying.
Volume 2 also has a Western bent to it, which becomes a theme in the latter half of Tarantino's career. Kill Bill Volume 2 may not cut as deeply for us, but if it does for you, we can see why.
You and I have unfinished business.
Baby, you ain't kidding.
Number 5. Django Unchained. After a German bounty hunter frees a slave, the duo works together to kill criminals and rescue Django's still enslaved wife from the villainous Calvin Candy.
Now, Mosu Kandi, whenever you're ready. We rode 5 hours so you could show off your stock. Let's get to it.
It may be Tarantino's highest grossing movie so far, but Django Unchained can be hard to watch sometimes, given the horrific violence perpetrated by the slavers. Even so, Django is among Tarantino's most compelling protagonists, with King Schultz forming the other half of a great partnership. Likewise, Calvin Candy is one of his best villains.
There have been a lot of lies said around this dinner table here tonight, but that you can believe. Mr. Moody, would you be so kind as to collect the pistol hanging off these boys' hips here?
The action scenes are bloody, yes, but thrilling and well executed. Plus, the humor in this movie crops up in some unexpected places.
Y'all gonna be together with Calvin in the by and by.
Just a bit sooner than y'all was expecting.
Django Unchained is a riveting story from start to finish. Number 4. Reservoir Dogs. Tarantino's first outing as a director follows a gang of color-coded thieves who reconvene at a hideout to try to figure out what went wrong at a botched heist.
They get him, they could get you. They get you, they get closer to me, and that can't happen. And you're looking at me like it's my fault?
While it contains homages to everything from Stanley Kubrick to Hong Kong crime thrillers, Reservoir Dogs remains an excellent early example of Tarantino's oeuvre.
Maybe our boy in blue here can answer some of these questions about this rat business you've been talking about. You're a piece of work, my friend.
Quotable dialogue, an eclectic soundtrack, a non-linear narrative, and shocking violence pervade this fantastic crime film. We can't rate it any higher because Tarantino has obviously improved as a director since his inaugural effort, but his big screen debut still holds up.
Joe, you're making a terrible mistake I'm not gonna let you make.
Come on, guys. Nobody wants this.
Number 3. Kill Bill Volume 1. The first half of this two-part epic is Tarantino firing on all cylinders.
So when do we do this? It all depends. When do you want to die?
After awakening from her coma, the bride goes on a roaring rampage of revenge against her former assassin cohorts, with Bill being her ultimate goal. Filled with tributes to everything from kung fu movies to anime, Kill Bill Volume 1 is an entertaining cocktail of styles that comes together into something new and distinctly Tarantino.
You didn't think it was going to be that easy, did you? You know, for a second there?
Yeah, I kind of did.
The fight scenes are stylish, thrilling, and fast-paced. The Bride is also arguably Tarantino's most iconic lead protagonist. Still, for as much as we love Kill Bill to death, Tarantino has perhaps made a few better films both before and after it.
I want him to know. And I want them all to know. They'll all soon be as dead as a rat.
Number 2, Inglourious Bastards.
And they're tortured by their subconscious for the evil they have done. It will be with thoughts of us that they are tortured with. Sound good?
Yes, sir!
Tarantino's take on a war movie is set in Nazi-occupied France. The film follows two separate plots against the Third Reich, one by a group of American commandos and another by a Jewish theater owner in hiding. Both groups run afoul of the brilliantly devious SS officer Hans Landa, who might be one of the best villains not just in any Tarantino movie, but in any movie, period.
You've had a nice long run, Aldo. Alas, you're now in the hands of the SS. My hands, to be exact. And they've been waiting a long time to touch you.
Nearly every scene is a masterclass in great dialogue and mounting tension that usually culminates in extreme violence. Inglourious Bastards may be Tarantino at the height of his craft. The acting, direction, and history-defying script are all practically flawless.
What's up, you bitch? I think this just might be my masterpiece.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Pulp Fiction. You could argue that any of the movies on this list deserves the #1 spot, but we contend that Pulp Fiction is the best Quentin Tarantino film because it goes full Tarantino.
It was a teenage wedding and the old folks wished him well. You could see that Pierre did truly love the mademoiselle.
It has an all-star ensemble cast playing various criminals and ne'er-do-wells in a non-linear narrative. It has some of the most quotable dialogue out there. Even the side characters who only appear in a scene or two are memorable.
As he wore this watch up his ass. Then he died of dysentery. He gave me the watch. I hid this uncomfortable hunk of metal up my ass 2 years.
Pulp Fiction is everything Tarantino does best crammed into one movie. There's a reason that when you ask someone to name a Tarantino movie, Pulp Fiction is usually the first that comes to mind.
You're the evil man, and I'm the righteous man. And Mr. 9mm here, he's the shepherd protecting my righteous ass in the valley of darkness.
Which Tarantino movie do you feel got the short end of the red apple? Let us know in the comments.
Take a bite of a red apple. Tell him Jake sent you.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.